Stone Cold Steve Austin, per Fightful, reportedly open to a potential in-ring return. I guess he was saying over WrestleMania weekend to a few people behind the scenes, other wrestlers, higher-ups, whatever, that he might actually be open to wrestling another match. Now, mind you, I think we last saw him on WWE television at Mania doing the whole attendance thing, almost killing that person in the audience with the fucking RV or the ATV or whatever. I kid. But prior to that point, I don't think we've seen him on WWE TV aside from that since when he wrestled that last match against Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 38. I think he was on WrestleMania the next night, stunning Austin Theory, as we said, but he wrestled the night prior against Owens, beat him, and that was it. And there's been rumbling since then that we've discussed about, like, oh, he could be facing Roman Reigns, or they want him in the ring at WrestleMania 40, or they want him to do a run in at 39. None of that happened. And as far as how old he is, he's got to be like 50. Like, he's got to be 60 at this point. Let me do a quick.
He's probably in his 50s.
I feel like he's 60. Let me check. I'm going to do a quick Google search. Yeah, he turned 60 years old on December 18th, so 6-7 months ago. And this is someone who might be open to another match, who was not open to wrestling again for like almost 20 years. Legitimately almost exactly 20 years since his last match is when he came back out of retirement. And I guess he might want to wrestle again. Obviously, WWE wouldn't say no because they would make a ton of money off of it, as they did at 38. But the thing with 38 was we didn't even know if he was fucking wrestling. Like, it was very on and off, and that was a real thing. They didn't really decide till the last minute. He did the match, went well. And as great of a note as he kind of ended on there, he might risk ruining that by coming back for another match. I mean, I kind of already know the answer to this because we've discussed it before, but it might now be a reality. So let me ask you, is that something you're interested in? Another Stone Cold Steve Austin in-ring return?
Not really.
Especially as time passes, too, and he gets older.
I mean, maybe one match, but, I mean, that's just being like, hopefully maybe it go well and just the one last hurrah. But, I mean, at this point, the guy's 60 years old. I mean, it's like Goldberg. Like, at least with Goldberg, it's like we've seen it. Like, he's wrestled plenty of times. It's like we don't need to see it again. Austin, like I said, I think you could probably get away with maybe one match. But even then, it's like, do you really want, like, realistically to him, it's like, what does he lose? Like, he's already, no one's going to remember it. So if he had like a couple bad matches, but I mean, I would just maybe one. I would say one and then just move on.
Yeah, so one match, but like, what does that one match look like, you think? Because the last match he had was perfect. Like, honestly, if it was anything more than what it was, it probably could have been good. I feel like it was a situation where, like, with Taker and Cena at Mania 34, when they had that 2-minute squash, Taker talked about in his documentary that he was preparing for like a fucking 20-minute classic. And honestly, I'm not saying it would have been a classic match because Cena was also kind of past his prime even then. But it could have been a really good match because Taker was ready for it. Whereas the year before at Mania 33, the match with Roman was fucking terrible. It was an awful main event. So WWE probably thought that would also be terrible, which is why they booked it to be short. But he was ready for something better. Stone Cold Steve Austin against Owens, they might have expected him to show a lot of ring rust, not be a great match. Same thing with him. That's probably why he wanted it to be more of a brawl and less of a match. But it turned out to exceed expectations. Now that we've seen that, like, if you were to actually wrestle one more match, I wouldn't be completely opposed to it. But do you think it's an actual match? Or do you think it would have to be with a guy being 60 at this point, even older than fucking Goldberg and all the health issues that Steve Austin has had? It would need to be more of an angle than an actual match.
Yeah, I would say so. I'm not looking to see 20 minutes bell to bell here.
I just don't know if that really works. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Like Taker and Goldberg at Crown Jewel or Super Showdown all those years ago in Saudi, that was not a 2-minute match. Gunther and Goldberg should be like a 2 to 3 minute match, probably 4 or 5 minutes max. Goldberg and Taker was like 9-10 minutes, and that's not really that long, but it is for a fucking Goldberg match, even in 2019. Same thing with Taker. That match was putrid. So I think shorter and sweeter would be better. If he never wrestles again, he left on a great note. He left on a great note 20 years ago. But like to come back out of retirement in Texas, main event of Mania, against someone who has forever idolized him in Kevin Owens, I feel like that was the best way for him to go out. But since we're on the subject, if he does wrestle again from the active roster, who makes sense to face Stone Cold Steve Austin? Some of the names earlier were John Cena. That's not fucking happening, as John Cena's done this year. And Stone Cold, I don't think, would wrestle this year. And that match in 2025, 2026 would be fucking awful, just based on what we've seen from Cena so far this year. So that's a no. Maybe 15 years ago. But there's CM Punk. That's obviously the number one name. Wouldn't be the match that it could have been in 2013, but still an option. there's really any number of people, but probably only a few that make sense. So for you, who do you think would make sense to face Stone Cold Steve Austin?
I mean, Punk would be one. Cody. Orton.
Just because he's the guy. Roman Reigns, I don't know. Orton. Orton. Someone said Orton.
Orton, I mean, they had some prior things back like 20 years ago, but yeah, I would say Cody, Punk, and Orton be my three.
They can run back the Survivor Series 03 Bad Blood between Austin and Orton in one of your favorite matches of all time. Hey, that was your 10th birthday. The fact that fell on your 10th birthday is amazing.
That's why he got fired.
Stone Cold Steve Austin was done as the, let me check my notes here, the sheriff of Monday Night Raw because he lost that match. Go do your homework, kids. I actually really like that. It's a great match anyway, but every time I think about it, I immediately think of you. And it's just, I've seen that match a ton because of you, because I've watched it with you, and I've also watched it a few times because of you, because you told me to watch it, because it's such a good match. And the overall show, Shane and Kane, ambulance match.
Great match.
Great match. Probably the best ambulance match I've ever seen. Let's be honest here. Very, very good match. But yeah, I think the CM Punk match would be cool for the promos alone, honestly. The match itself, you know, it might be an Undertaker Sting thing where even if they did the match 10 years ago with Undertaker and Sting, it's not happening now, of course, nor should it. But like the hype and the promos and the packages for it and stuff might actually be better than the match itself. And neither of them might want to deal with that disappointment. So I don't know if it's a tag team match. A tag team match would be cool. But like for what? Is it just for him to make money? Is it just to promote the match this time? Because the Owens match, they promoted he'd be there. They didn't promote it was happening. But now there's so much more money to be made under the TKO banner of like, with the Goldberg thing, that's why they're doing it. Like, it's nice that he's thrown Goldberg a bone, Triple H, and being like, all right, you've whined for long enough about having one more match. We'll just fucking give it to you so you could shut the fuck up. But it's also a marketing opportunity for them to say, oh, it's his last match and it's his last ride. They could sell the shirts with that on it. They could sell Saturday night's main event as Goldberg's retirement match. That's very smart marketing. They might want to do the same thing with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I will say this, and I didn't even bring this up because I think it'd be terrible. Can we just say now, no Stone Cold versus Rock, please? In 2025, 2026? Is that something you want to see?
I'm done running Twain and Stone Cold back.
Oh my, you're actually down for that match?
I'm down.
With the AAA, fucking membership too?
Yeah, I actually don't hate that one.
Wow. Okay, maybe I'll level with you here. I have no interest in that match because I just feel like that'd be awful in modern day. But what about a tag team match? Stone Cold and Punk? Listen to this. I mean, Cena's retiring, but what if we got Cena and Rock versus Punk and Austin? That would be awesome. Hashtag book it.
Yeah, do it.
It's not going to happen now because, Cena's retiring and also The Rock can't bother to show up to fucking work, but it's okay. Stone Cold versus LA Knight, David asked. I'd be down for that if it was like a Kevin Owens type thing where LA Knight calls him out. I feel like that'd be awesome. I was kind of hoping for that a few years ago, but I'd be down for that too. How old was Taker when he retired, Fernando asked?
Old.
He was old, but he wasn't that old. Like, I don't even know if he's 60 now. He's like mid-50s, bro. He might have been 50. No, he's 60 also now. He just turned 60, so he would have been 55, 54, depending on when. Actually, they probably taped the match on his 50. It was on March 24th. They taped the match ahead of time. They probably taped it on his 55th birthday. So he was already old. Let's put it that way, like Mr. Marceau said. Yeah, perhaps we can finally get Stone Cold versus Goldberg. Just put the fucking knife in me now, David. That would be terrible.